Oftentimes, I usually get questions from clients and prospects, most especially first-time investors, questions revolving around land title because it seems like the only land title that most of them are very conversant with is C of O. And so, any land without C of O is not a good buy. I understand. So on this video, I'm going to talk about the different land titles we have in Nigeria and how each of them are obtained. The first land title we are going to be talking about is the survey plan. A survey plan is the document that measures the boundary of a particular of a particular piece of land. It measures the boundary or the circumference of a parcel of land to ensure the accurate size of such land. Now, a survey plan contains some coordinates. This coordinate is the particular place, the particular portion on the surface of the earth. There are no two portions on the earth that has the same coordinate number. So, information contained on the survey plan are the coordinate number, the beacons number, the survey plan number, the size of the land, and every other information that describes the accuracy of the said land. These informations are then used to prepare the deed of assignment or the deed of conveyance, which is signed by both the seller and the buyer of the said land. That is for survey plan. Another land title we are going to talk about is Excision. According to Nigerian Land Use Act of 1978, all land belongs to government. However, before this Land Use Act, people were already occupying land in Nigeria. So there are original indigenes of every particular land. Now, when the government becomes interested in such land, in any land, of course, there are some indigenes there. So if the government decides to, let's take for instance, that the government, the total size of a particular village that the government is said to be interested in is, let's say, 10 hectares of land. And then, of course, the government will not take everything and displace them because they need a place to stay. So maybe the government now decides to take 6 hectares and give 4 hectares to the village. These 4 hectares that is given to the village, it is said that these 4 hectares has been excised to the community. So an excision is a document issued on a land that has been released by the government to the original indigenes of the said land. That is, the people, indigenes that originally owned that land before government acquisition. Yeah, so that part of the excised land, that part that the government released back to the community is said to be the excised portion of land. So an excision cannot be given to an individual. An excision is usually given to a village or a community who are the owners of that land before the government became interested in their village or in their community and took part of it. So the government can either give them part of that land as a cession or relocate them, excise them, relocate them to another place. But the government must give them some part. So when this is done, the government issues an excision to the said village. Now, the third land title we have is the Gazette. A Gazette is an official record book where all special details of the government are entered, are recorded. So this excision now, in the case of excision, those excised portion of land to the said community, when it is entered into the state book of Gazette, it is now said that that portion of land has been gazetted. Yes. So Gazette is just about entering the excised portion of land, each village with the particular size of land that has been excised to them in the state book of Gazette. This makes that excised portion to bear the title Gazette. So that's it about Gazette. So Gazette is an excision that has been recorded into the state book of Gazette. The fourth land title document we have in Nigeria is the almighty C of O, which is what most people know about. To many people, C of O is C of O. Without C of O, no land is good to buy. Fine. So C of O, or certificate of occupancy, is a land document that is issued by the state government to officially release a certain portion or a set portion of land under the state to the applicant. This lease is usually for a period of 99 years. That is for residential CFO. But for agric CFO, it is for a period of 25 years. I know a lot of people don't know about this, but there are different types of CFO, and I'm going to talk about them in this video. Another land title that we have in Nigeria is a governor's consent. The governor's consent is a document issued on a land that already has CFO. A CFO can only be given to one person for a particular piece of land in a lifetime. So once a particular piece of land has been registered, once the CFO of a particular piece of land has been processed for in the name of an individual, that same land cannot obtain another CFO in another person's name. However, when the person that owns the first person that owns the CFO of a particular land decides to sell that land, the second person buying the land will now apply for a governor's consent, which is an official document that shows to the government that there's a change in ownership on the said land that has CFO. But then a land that has been gazetted can go straight to obtaining a governor's consent without going through the process of CFO. Yes, you can do that. So any land that has a gazette, you can go ahead and process the governor's consent without processing the CFO. There are different types of CFO. Number one, we have the individual CFO, which is a kind of CFO that is given to an individual. Let's take, for instance, I decide to buy land today and the land does not have CFO. Then I decide to process the CFO in my name. I can go ahead and process the said CFO. It is process the CFO of the said plots of land in my name. Most times it is usually for certain plots of land, not usually for large expanse of land. Then we have the global CFO. The global CFO covers a larger expanse of land, mostly in hectares, in acres, and all that. That means most times it is obtained by developers of different estates. Yes, so people that own large number of land, large expanse of land, they go ahead and obtain the CFO for that large expanse of land and then begin to sell it to different individuals. That is called a global CFO. We also have government allocated CFO. For government allocated CFOs, there are certain places in a state where you cannot just go and buy land from the indigents of that state. You can only buy that land from the government. Example of such lands are acquired land that are under the government, the control of the government, but not committed land. Remember, acquired land but not committed land. Acquired land you can still buy from government and then go ahead and process your document. So when you buy land from the government, the government issues you a letter or certificate of allocation. The government gives you what is called government allocated CFO for that said land. Most times, government allocated CFO is usually given to companies or developers. Rarely do they give it to individuals, except if you are influential. Aside from the types of CFO, there are also CFO of purpose. So the purpose for which you're obtaining the CFO for this particular land also matters, because that determines the duration of lease of such land by the government. Remember, CFO grants you the lease of the said land for a period of 99 years, but that is for a residential land. Now, under CFO of purpose, we have the residential CFO, which is given mostly to individuals or to companies. The duration, the tenure is usually for a period of 99 years, after which the individual or the group or the company involved will reapply for the renewal of that CFO. Now, the second CFO of purpose we have is agric CFO. Agric CFO is for a particular land that is designated strictly for agricultural purpose. Then we also have industrial CFO for certain locations that have been designated for strictly industrial purposes. These locations have what is called the industrial CFO. Now, for agric CFO, the said land is usually leased for a period of 25 years. Then we also have family CFO. This family CFO is not given to every family, of course. It's given to mostly influential families. Yeah, it's very applicable here in Lagos. You see some places, they will tell you this place is covered with CFO, family CFO of under this family name. These are usually most very prominent families that get this family CFO. So these are the land titles we have in Nigeria. I've talked about the survey plan, I've talked about the Excision, I've talked about the Gazette, I've talked about the CFO, the Certificate of Occupancy, I've talked about the governor's consent, and I've also gone ahead to talk about the different types of CFOs we have and the different type of CFOs that we have and CFO of purpose too that we have. All these are applicable in Nigeria. So when making your real estate investment, you need to ask certain questions before you make that land investment, before you buy that land in that said location. Because most time people usually say stuff like, okay, because this land doesn't have CFO, it's not a good buy. That's not true. It's not only land that has CFO that is a good buy. Now, aside from this land title, there are also some documents that you need to get from a land transaction. I made a video on that note in the past, and I think it's still on my channel. So you can go ahead and check it out, watch the video, and I believe you'll learn one or two things from there too. So you can now add it to this one and have a good knowledge of what to expect under land title and document before you make that land investment, because it's important that as much as you're making your investment, you should make it wisely and it should be safe, right? That's what guarantees the profitability, because a lost investment, you cannot make profit from it, all right? And I'm interested in your safety and your profitability. So if you're coming across my video for the first time, my name is Tonia from Pacific Dream Realty, and on this channel, I talk about real estate investment opportunities. I bring you real estate investment information, tips and guides on how to make a safe and profitable real estate investment right here in Nigeria. So if this is what you want, if this is what you're looking out for or you are interested in, then I advise you click on the subscription button and turn on your notification bell so you always be among the first to be notified each time I drop a new video. All right. So my returning subscribers, you all are awesome. Thank you all for staying glued and for always referring me. So the year is fast wrapping up, and of course, this is a season of giving. This is a season to give your loved ones or anyone you love something good, including yourself. In giving out, also remember to give to yourself. So what's the perfect, if you're thinking about the perfect gift you can give to yourself or to someone dear to you, there is no greater gift than the gift of the earth, than a piece of the earth. That will not just make the person happy for today, but the person will always remember you forever. Because as much as that earth still exists, of course it exists, it will keep on appreciating and generating income for that person. Yeah, so that's the greatest gift you can give. The greatest gift on earth is earth, right? So if you are looking out for the perfect location to invest in, be it in Anambra, in Enugu, in Delta, in Owerri, in Lagos, in Abuja, in Ogun, or in Oyo State, good locations to invest in and enjoy huge return on investment, then kindly call the number on your screen, reach out to me, and I'll help you get started. All right. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in my next video. Bye.